Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is Justin with Loretronic, and boy, this video is going to have you spring locked to the edge of your seats. When the world got its first glimpse of the new Security Breach DLC known as RUIN, we were introduced to a new character joining the franchise, Cassie. Who is she? How does she know Gregory? Has she been to the Pizza Plex before? Like most of the games in this franchise, nothing is really known or explained in the most straightforward manner. We do get confirmation that her favorite animatronic is Roxy, and that her father was a worker for Fazbear's.
A Faz wrench? It's just like my dad's.
With these facts in mind and a few more playthroughs, I believe Cassie was staying in the secret daycare room at the Pizza Plex for some time while her father worked, and that she had a type of security mask of her own that was used to control her perceived reality. I made a discovery that had me beyond excited, since it's a piece of the FNAF puzzle that I personally had not seen anywhere else. Let's begin. RUIN starts off with Cassie arriving at the Pizza Plex after getting a message from Gregory telling her to come there. She questions why he would want her to come back to this old place.
I don't get it. Why would Gregory tell me to come to this old place and then not be here?
You hear Gregory off in the distance, only to find a Roxy walkie-talkie explaining he's trapped under the raceway. Cassie immediately knew what raceway and exactly where it was, so we know she has been there before.
You have to find me! I'm trapped in the sinkhole under the raceway!
Under Roxy Racers? That's all the way on the other side.
You soon find a Fazbear technician's Faz wrench, which she recognizes as a tool her father used.
A Faz wrench? It's just like my dad's.
Interesting. Add who is Cassie's father to the many questions still not answered. We at least do know he was a worker for Fazbear's. After you almost get nommed on by Monty and spit out into Monty Golf, you soon acquire what the game refers to as a security mask. Cassie makes a comment about how it's not a Bonnie mask.
Thank you. Please enjoy.
Weird. It's not a Bonnie mask.
After putting on this mask for the first time, Helpy adds a fun implant into Cassie's head, tricking the normal standard technician Helpy into thinking she is a Class 5 technician, allowing her access to the Pizza Plex. Travel a bit further into Monty Golf, and when you pause the game, you see the bottom white text saying, "That mask really suits you." Why does the mask really suit Cassie? One of the AR collectibles you get is the Sun plush. When you read the description, it says, "I used to have so much fun in the daycare." Not long afterwards, you find the AR Moon plush that says, "I never slept better than I did in the daycare." Keep these comments in mind. When you enter the theater and put on the mask, you see Gregory running from Vanny, and she says,
Hey! She's wearing my mask.
Wow, Cassie seems real quick to adapt this as her mask. Next stop, the secret daycare room. It was the differences with the mask on and off in this area that really got me thinking if Cassie had some kind of mask of her own. Mundane objects like storage boxes or plain walls become a lot more fun and exciting with the mask on. Boxes become treasure chests, and windows like on a ship appear on the walls. It is as if the mask makes the Plex even more exciting through the eyes of a child. The secret daycare room holds even more interesting differences. At first the room is in total disarray, but once you hone the mask, everything becomes tidy and clean. Climb through the little pipe and you end up in the Balloon Boy arcade room, which clearly looks like a place someone is staying with a bed set up in the corner. I firmly believe that Cassie was staying here while her father was working at the Plex. With the mask off, if you look nearby in a container, you will see a bunch of nail files. The room contains multiple Roxy plushies, which we know is Cassie's favorite. There appears to be clothes for both a child and an adult hanging on the wall. With the mask on, the boxes on the side will now be stacked nicely with a simple stick figure drawing of what appears to be a kid and adult. This feels like a hint from Stillwell Studios. You can randomly see these stick figure drawings throughout the Pizza Plex, which I think are different locations Cassie's father was working, possibly with Cassie playing nearby, making such drawings. If the back of the daycare was her room, this could also explain the abundance of sun and moon objects you see and collect in RUIN. With this new lore-hunting lens of Cassie owning some kind of mask, I began to immediately notice more objects that simply don't seem to be a part of the mask's coding and kind of disappear. Things like ATM machines, whiteboards with information on it, and building supplies. If you are just a child roaming the Pizza Plex, these are objects that don't need to be a part of the guided visual experience. Only adults need to worry about these things. This also would explain why some things work with the mask on, like the ball shooters on the catwalks. They are clearly destroyed with no mask, but once you put it on, they are active and even have targets to shoot. Why would a technician need to play a ball shooting game? Seems much more coded for a child to enjoy. This would also give more sense to all of the random giant objects you see at the Plex with the mask on. Playtime just got even cooler. Right after you complete the catwalks, one of the AR collectibles you acquire at the bottom of a staircase is the AR Foxy plush with the note, "That log ride was so much fun." We later find out that the log ride was never actually completed. If she had a mask of her own, this could directly explain how she was able to experience the ride, especially if her dad was at the Plex working. One of the many pros of having a family member being part of the Fazbear family? Getting sneak previews of attractions. Wouldn't someone have commented about a girl always wearing a mask, you say? It is very likely that Cassie was following her dad around the Pizza Plex after hours. This would make sense to security doors in the main areas opening just enough for a child to fit through. And now we arrive at Roxy's salon, the very location that housed a clue I have not seen mentioned yet anywhere else. We know Cassie's favorite is Roxy, so this area probably meant a lot to her. Towards the end of the chapter, after the last security node and Chica heads into the bathroom, you reach the last locked door entering the salon. When you put the mask on, a post-it note appears. That's right, a post-it note. I literally needed to pause the game and have a momentary freakout. It says, "Gone for a while. Money for food on counter. Emergency contacts on fridge." The first thing that pops into my mind reading this is a note left by a parent to their child when heading out. If the mask was meant only for a Fazbear technician, why would they need a note like this left behind? This note could also be a connection to Candy Cadet after you use fast tokens and listen to his entire tale. The parent mentions needing to head out for food. It is very interesting how similar the story of Ruin is to Candy Cadet's if you simply gender swap the characters. I feel this is the holy grail that Cassie had a type of mask of her own. So many elements began to make sense, and thus this theory was born. We will most likely make a follow-up video with any new developments and clues I might have missed. That still leaves, who is Cassie's father? Well, that's a theory for another day. If you enjoyed our video, please like and subscribe and leave any comments below. Bye!